Alright, so guys, today we'll be looking at piano chord lesson for beginners. Alright, piano chord lessons for beginners. We'll also look at piano chord lessons for beginners. Alright, piano chord lessons for beginners. Alright, so after this, we will now look at how to apply them in chord progressions. I'm also going to teach you chord progressions, so stay till the end of this class. So I'm going to show you a lot of wonderful things, how to use these chords to apply as feelings to your play. All right, so guys, let's dive right into it. What is a chord? And a chord is actually when we play more than one note. All right, so instead of playing only one, I can add another note to it, makes it a chord. And we have different types of chord, but the most popular one is the one we call a triad. All right, a triad. All right. So, and remember, we're looking at piano chord lessons for beginners. Okay, so the triad. How do we form the chords? From the major scale. And by the way, if you've not seen our lesson on the major scale, you will find a link in the description box below. You can also check, you see it there. All right, so do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. All right, so either way, and I'm going to be teaching guys on the key of C. Okay, so how do I form this chord? We use a principle of 1, 3, and 50. All right, so once I pick a note, this do or C, either way, so add the third and the fifth. Remember, count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So add the third and the fifth, you have yourself a triad or a chord. Okay, so you have yourself a triad or a chord. 1, 3, 5. So if I'm here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 3, 5. Right? It's a minor third. If I want it to be a major third, 1, 2, 3, 4. So another day, I'll teach you chord theory. I'll teach you intervals. All right. So you understand the difference between a minor and a major interval. So same thing here. 1, 3, 5. So we're going to play on key C. We're going to be forming this chord on key C. We will not touch any key that is not part of. We'll not touch any black keys. So if I'm here, this is 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5. If I'm here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 3, 5. Here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5. So you hear something like this. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. La, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. So which finger I'm using? I'm using 1, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 3, 5. So my left hand, 1, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5. All right, so I can try it. All right, guys. So now that you know what these chords are and how we form them, it's as good as nothing if you don't know how to apply them. All right. So that will lead us to applying them in chord progressions. All right, chord progression. Remember, we are still looking at chord lessons for beginners. And right now, we're looking at the next part of the class, which is chord progressions. With chord progressions, you can be able to apply your chords or your triads to your play. You can use it and mesmerize everybody. All right, guys. If you are getting value from this channel, kindly hit on the subscribe button. Like this video, on the notification bell so YouTube lets you know when we post another interesting video. Okay? Remember, one class is not going to make you a piano pro, but bit by bit, you'll become a pro. So piano chord progressions. All right, we have different chord progressions. Remember, this is C. We can play C to F, back to C to G, or we'll play it with chords. C to F, back to C to G. All right. if you're using the number notation, you can say this is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can play 1. We can call it 1, which is the same thing as do chord, the same thing as C chord. 1 to 4, the same thing as Fa or F chord. All right. Then back to 1 to 5. All right. So that's 1. So we looked at the first one. 1 to 4, 1 to 5, 1, 4, 1, 5. So what am I doing? I'm doing 1, 1, 1. You understand? 1, do, mi, so, or C, E, G. I'll now strike my right hand. So this way, we are giving it a feeling. All right. So the second one is 1, 4, 5, 4. So we use it in Nigerian makosa, African makosa. So what am I doing? 1. I can still do. All right. So practice it. All right. I can still do something. Oh, something like that. So I'll show you different variations of this in another class. So the next one we're going to look at is the 6, 5, 1. So all right. So some songs are like this. There is power in the name of Jesus. There is power in the name. You can also use it to play cool music. All right, so see. All right, like I promised to show you something like this. And, you know, more of it towards the end of the class. But let me show you so you can see how. We can also add. We can do 1, 5. 6, 4, 1, 5. All right. So it's just an extending the one we looked at before. The 6, the 4, the 1, the 5. All right. With this, you can play as much as 100 songs. You can play as many songs as any song you can think of. I will show you how you can play with just this. All right. So we did different. I don't mean just this progression. I mean all this, different kind of progression. All right. This already sounded like all right. So having looked at that, let's look at another progression. We can have 4. Instead of starting from 1, let's just start from 4. All right, so let's go again. 5, 4, 1, 5, 4, 1. All right. So guys, so that's that on a piano chord lesson for beginners and chord progression.